The sun was barely breaking over the horizon when the first whistle cut through the crisp morning air. Recruits were already lined up, their boots sinking into the damp earth, breath fogging in the cold. Most stood rigid, nerves pulling their shoulders back. All except one. In the last row, a young woman adjusted her cap, trying to ignore the snickers coming from the two recruits beside her. "Didn't know they were letting in cheerleaders now," one whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Another laughed. "Hope she doesn't break a nail carrying the rifle." Her name was Maya Brooks, 21 years old, 5'3", with a quiet face that didn't immediately scream soldier. But there was something in her eyes, calm, deep, and unshakable. She had learned long ago that letting people underestimate her was often her greatest advantage. Bootcamp was meant to strip you down to nothing, then rebuild you into a soldier. For Maya, the stripping down had started the second she stepped off the bus. The first challenge wasn't the 4 a.m. wake-ups, the endless drills, or the relentless shouting from drill sergeants. It was the constant mockery from some of her fellow recruits. By the third day, the nickname Princess had spread through her squad. They joked about her soft hands, her city girl look, and her delicate build. She never responded, never lashed out, just did the work. She ran the miles, lifted the weights, marched in the rain. But the whispers followed her everywhere. What they didn't know, what none of them knew, was why she was really here. The physical demands were brutal. During the first week, Maya barely made the time limit on the long-distance runs. Her legs burned, her lungs felt like they might explode, and the blisters on her feet made every step torture. Every failure was met with more ridicule from the louder recruits. "Come on, Princess. This isn't a beauty pageant," one called as she stumbled up a hill during a drill. But every night, after the lights went out, she'd sit on her bunk and think of her father, Staff Sergeant Daniel Brooks, who had served 3 tours overseas before he was killed in action. She remembered his voice telling her, "You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when you're done." She wasn't here to prove them wrong. She was here to prove him right. By the second week, she started shaving seconds off her runs. She learned to pace herself, to breathe through the pain, to push through when her body screamed at her to stop. Slowly, the mockery became background noise. The turning point came during an obstacle course test known for breaking even the toughest recruits. It involved climbing a 20-foot wall, crawling under barbed wire through mud, and hauling a 60-pound pack across uneven terrain. Halfway through, one of the loudest hecklers, Private Thompson, twisted his ankle on the rope climb. He fell hard, gritting his teeth in pain. The drill sergeant barked for him to move, but he couldn't. Without hesitation, Maya doubled back. She threw his arm over her shoulder, bearing his weight while still carrying her own gear. She helped him limp through the rest of the course, even though it destroyed her time. That night, Thompson didn't say a word to her. But the next morning, the name Princess stopped echoing through the yard. It was in the 3rd month of boot camp when everything changed. The commander announced a surprise full-day endurance drill. Shirts off for the men, and light undershirts for the women, to keep them cool under the scorching sun. When Maya peeled off her jacket, a murmur swept through the line. On her back, stretching from shoulder blade to shoulder blade, was a massive, intricately detailed tattoo. It was a soaring eagle clutching a folded American flag, with 3 words inked beneath in bold script, "For my father." At the sight of it, the commander, a hardened man with decades of service, froze mid-step. His face paled, and he removed his cap. "Brooks," his voice was quieter now, almost reverent. "Daniel Brooks was your father?" She nodded once. The commander looked away for a moment, his jaw tightening. "He saved my life, 12 years ago, in Kandahar," he said softly. The entire platoon went silent. For the rest of the day, no one looked at her the same way. The whispers of doubt had died completely. From that day forward, Maya wasn't Princess anymore. She was Brooks. Recruits who had mocked her now asked for her help. She became a quiet leader, not through loud speeches, but by showing up every single day, giving everything she had. She didn't need to raise her voice to be respected. Her story spoke for her. When graduation day came, the commander called her name last. As she stepped forward to receive her insignia, he saluted her first, a rare honor. "You carry your father's courage," he said. "And you've made it your own." Maya's journey was a reminder that the loudest voices are often the least important, and real strength is built in silence, through perseverance, humility, and heart. The ones who mock you today might be the ones saluting you tomorrow. If this story moved you, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below about a time someone underestimated you and you proved them wrong. Let's share those moments of quiet victory. And if you believe in standing up, pushing through, and honoring the people who inspire us, hit that subscribe button to join our community here on Be Kind Always. Every story we share is a reminder: kindness is strength.